Fantastic. Good, good, good. Easy, thanks for joining us. Guys, we'll just immediately begin. Our August visitor is here. Let me welcome you to the MannyVille Live series. This is actually our 11th series, and we're giving out 17 laptops at the moment. Hopefully we'll do another one today. And then we've given over, I don't know, I've lost count of the kind of data that we've given out. But we do that because we believe in the three pillars. We call it the 3D affair: data, devices, and digital literacy. We believe that for you to do anything in tech, you need to have these three things aligning together for you. All right. So we want to say thank you for joining. We know it's not easy, especially in these times, to invest your data. But I think it's hopefully an opportunity for you to learn and hopefully win something as we continue. All right. Cool. Easy. It's good to see you. But let me just talk a little bit about what we're doing here. Today we are hosting Easy Boy. I mean, he's a standout voice in tech. And the thing we love about him is how he breaks complex ideas into simple, biteable, chewable bits. And he does it with a lot of humor and great content. All right. So we're excited. I'll read his bio in a bit. And it's very short, typical Easy style. But for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Emmanuel Asika. I have over 20 years of experience in the tech space, leading tech in the region across Africa. That's what I do during my day job. And then sometime once a month, I'm your chief griot here. All right. And then we try to bridge the digital divide, take a giant leap forward in Africa's tech footprint, and hopefully do so in an entertaining environment where we have lots of fun, lots of engagement with young people. All right. There's a couple of things we like to do. Number one, we like to showcase rising stars. So if you know, Easy is one of a large number of great guys who are doing stuff on the continent. And we do this so that we can inspire people to know that there's actually great stuff coming out from Nigeria, as opposed to all of the negative news. We don't like to talk negative stuff. We just want to provide solutions. And then finally, we hope to empower at least one person, best case scenario, 5 people, so that they're on to their tech journey. So those are the things to expect. One is we're definitely giving our laptop today. So please stay engaged, participate. I hope you filled your pitch form, because that's where we're getting the pool from. And then hopefully we get that person into a program where they are getting digitally literate and getting themselves ready for a tech future. All right. Let me tell you a little bit about Easy Boy before we begin to ask the questions. All right. Easy is a digital and I'm reading this. Easy is a digital content creator with a patent on the internet around smartphones and consumer tech in general, what they're capable of, and he also shares tips on how best to maximize them. He's also a lover of gadgets. I'm sure you'll get to know about that. He has a combined audience of over 1 million followers. I think that's an important place to say, well done, Easy. Don't worry, I'll do this a lot. I love all these effects across social media platforms. We'll start by asking Easy some very simple questions, just so we get to know him. One of the things that we also like to do here is to say, even though some of these guys are big time celebrities, they're doing a whole lot, in their own right. But there are people behind these personas. And so we like to know these people so that we can level with them and get to understand them better. And hopefully see what motivates and drives them. All right. So Easy. First question that I'll ask you today is, it's like an interview question. And do you remember what the most, you probably haven't done interviews, Easy, you're an entrepreneur, but for those of us who have done interviews, tell me I'm wrong, by the way. For those of who do interviews, the first thing they ask you is tell me about yourself, right? That's the first question. So for me, I'm asking, tell us something that people do not know about you. Maybe the fact that you're trying to grow dreads, I think, is that it?
Not really. Okay, well, I can actually start from there, right? I don't like cutting my hair.
Okay.
So all the times I've cut my hair is just because, okay, I'm in Nigeria, and then, the stereotypes and all that. If I had my way, I would have kept it as long as I would like to.
Okay.
So that's why I leave it overgrown sometimes. So then when I'm like, okay, it's frustrating me, I can't keep it neat. I just have to go cut it. But yeah. And then Easy is the name. There are a lot of people that think that it's a nickname. It's the name, it's the full name. Yeah,
Really?
and
How?
yeah,
How?
yeah. Right. It's the name my parents gave to me. There's a story behind the name, but I don't want to go into all that right now. But I mean, at first I didn't like the name, but then I grew up to like the name because of its kind of uniqueness. And then it might give off the impression that, oh, it's a nickname. Then later on, you discover that it's not a nickname. And I like the fact that spelled backwards, spelled upside down, it's the same. So that's why I stuck with the name.
Is it an English name or a traditional
It's
name?
an Isoko name, right? I'm from Delta
It's
State,
so
Isoko precisely.
fantastic.
So
Fantastic. What
it's a
does it
pronounced
mean?
as it means laws. It's a plural form of law, laws. So if you feel that okay, easy is too short, it's unbelievable to be a name, you can say easy again, laws of God.
Okay, easy again. Oh wow,
Yeah.
oh wow. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so that's definitely he says it's from the outer state for those who are asking us. If you want to ask questions, go to the question tab and then just put the questions down there and let's have him here. I mean, I keep saying that every time we have people like Easy here, I should be paying them $1 million in dollars, to get to hear from them. But they're doing this for free. They're doing this because they also have a passion for the generation coming. Here's Generation Alpha, not Generation Z now, but we are glad to have him. It's like a masterclass. All right, so all your questions, get it out, and let's have fun with Easy today. Easy, I mean, you play football. I mean, we see lots of football pictures on your profile. Well, tell us that story.
If I probably grew up outside of Nigeria, maybe in Europe, I'll probably be a professional footballer. I loved
Okay.
football growing up. At some point, I thought I was going to be a footballer, but you have dreams as a young person growing up in Nigeria. Then you start seeing the realities, and then you start aligning your dreams towards what Nigeria has to offer.
Hmm.
So, but I played football a lot. I have so many scars to show. But yeah, up until I moved to Lagos, I was always like at least a week. I always play football like 2 or 3 times, almost every evening. But then after school, moved down to Lagos. Lagos doesn't have space. Lagos doesn't have land. There's so much population. Even when you want to play ball, maybe it's every Saturday, and by the time you get to the pitch on Saturday, people are there as early as 6 a.m. So you join a set. By the time your set is knocked out, just go home because before it gets to your set again, it's the whole day is gone.
Tell me about it.
So I kind of stopped playing football for a long time. But then a group of friends and content creators decided that, oh, let's just start meeting and playing once in a while. So yeah.
Fantastic. Which team are you supporting today, by the way? And thanks for those of the guys who are supposed to be watching Premiership today and they are here. Kudos, Duff. I duff my
Mhm.
hat for you guys. Who are you supporting today?
I'm a Liverpool fan though. I'm a Liverpool fan. So
Yeah, Liverpool fan. Easy.
yeah.
El Clasico is happening today.
Yeah,
Barcelona,
I
Real Madrid.
support
Who's your
Barcelona for that one.
Okay, it's Barcelona for you, right? Okay, cool. Fingers crossed. We're going to have a match viewing ceremony later this evening for that. Okay, so I'm a Madrid fan, so we're on two opposing sides today.
That's
Okay,
cool.
so I
I
think
mean, the
that
rivalry is not as intense as when my Messi and Ronaldo were there. So I mean,
yeah, we have Mbappe, we have Rodrigo, we have Vinicius Junior who will probably win the Ballon d'Or
you guys have all the stars, so it
versus
will be very, very good if we
Yamin
win
Lamar.
today.
Yamin Lamar, Lamin Yamal.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Hala Madrid. HP supports sponsors Madrid, by the way. So maybe I'm twisted in
That's
this
nice.
regard. Cool. Tell us your education story. So we have lots of young guns here, and one of the things growing up, they always told us, um, um, pay attention to your studies, work hard, and ensure that you're passing out in flying colors. What was academics like for you? And I would love to hear your jam story. We have a tradition here. How
Oh,
was jam for
I
you?
wrote, I wrote, I wrote. Did I write jump 3 times? Probably. I passed it. I passed all of them though, so it's not as if I wrote and
So
failed them. It's the
so why
system.
why why did you write it 3 times? So is it a matter of opinion? You either pass or not. What do you mean it's the
So
system?
no, you write jam, then you write post jam. So if you
Uh,
post jam, then there are school cutoff marks, and then you don't
oh
make the
yeah.
cutoff, and you have to write
Okay.
another year.
Okay.
Unlike now, when they've made it simple that you can use the same jam for more than a year. You write 1 year. If the school does not give you admission, you write the next year.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I think I wrote jam. I think 3 times. I graduated in 2008, and I wrote jam 2008, 2009, 2010. eventually I gained admission through, I still passed the JAM, but then I gained admission through pre-degree because I did pre-degree in the same school, Delta State University. So
Delta.
yeah, yeah, I gained admission through pre-degree. I wanted pharmacy,
Say that again.
right? I wanted to study pharmacy.
Interesting.
But those were goals that were directed by, the Nigerian parents. They want you to either study law, medicine, or engineering. If not, you're not doing anything reasonable. So but I've always wanted to do something related to tech. I think my first jam I wrote for marine engineering, but then there was only one school in Nigeria offering marine engineering, and then my mom finding out that it's marine engineering, doesn't want her child to study anywhere that has to do with water. We had to cancel that. So next jam we went for electronics engineering.
Wow.
Well, I think it was to try and get to UniBen, but I didn't meet their cutoff. I think cutoff then, I don't know what the cutoff was, sure, but I kind of scored over 50, but it still didn't meet their cutoff for the course, and I didn't get the admission. And the next year, then I went to Dales too. I almost actually entered Covenant University too. I passed their cutoff in flying colors, but for some reason I didn't get the admission. So
okay, so that's interesting. But I'm hearing marine engineering, I'm hearing electric, and all of that. What's the relationship between all these science guys and tech, right? What did you eventually study in the university? Oh my God.
chemistry education. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can now. Tell me, what did you study?
So I ended up studying chemistry education. So when you go to the Nigerian schools, when you can't meet the cutoff for the course you are going for, they probably put you in another course that they feel, okay, that's where your cutoff falls into. So when I was writing my final exams, I think it was a 3-day exam. I fell sick on the day of my core courses. So I got D's in those 2 courses that I wrote that day. I got A's in the rest too. But then I ended up in chemistry education. So, I mean, if I probably didn't end up in chemistry education, who knows if I'll be doing tech today. But yeah, that's where I ended up.
How did you segue from chemistry into tech? And I think that's the one that all of us are going to be paying very good attention to. So we're in a country where your degree is not necessarily where you wind up. It's almost like it's a tick in the box. But then again, I mean, it keeps you also very proactive, dynamic, so that where you see opportunities, you just generally flow and gravitate towards it. But what's your own story? What's your tech story? That's the question first.
Okay, so I've always been the guy that, right, let's just say I didn't embrace tech on time. You have certain talents and you don't really acknowledge that you have them because you see them as maybe hobbies. I've always been the person that this thing starts working, you open it and try to figure out why it's not working before it's taken for repair. I had a lot of stuff back home that maybe a CD set starts working and I've opened it and probably damaged it in the process. You're watching a movie and it gets stuck in the disk drive. You know how to open it and get it out. And then I think at some point I actually built a small boat. Probably why I wanted to do marine engineering. Yeah, I wanted to do marine engineering. And then I was trying to build a functioning boat. I didn't get it to load very well, but yeah, it was moving at some point before I abandoned that hobby. Well, yeah, then with the coming of smartphones, I was always all the free browsing cheats and all of those things. I knew all of those things. I was a go-to person when you wanted to configure your phone. I was a go-to, no matter how small a phone is, as far as it has internet access, I would find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
I think the first phone I had that used the internet was this Samsung blue phone with antenna. You will not believe that it could use the internet, but I found a way to.
Okay.
PP. Press anytime you see me, I'm pressing something. So I like knowing the ins and outs of devices or gadgets, games, and everything that I had, how I could lay my hands on. But since I was studying chemistry education, it's focused on studies. Yeah, the most I was doing when it comes to tech was I was highly interested in smartphones. I knew my way around laptops. I knew my way around fixing them. Anything software related, I was the guy you go to find a solution. And maybe before you take it to repair, you probably bring it to me, and I will tell you if it is software or hardware before you take it to repair. Configure up those ones. But then in my final year was when I fully realized that I have been wasting my time in this chemistry education. Right, what I want to do is not going to be this chemistry education. yeah, I actually had plans to like go into lecturing, but then my final year I realized that that would be a waste of my time, because then I'd already learned some like Photoshop. I saw someone using Photoshop. I liked the way it was using it. I went home, downloaded the software, practiced using it, watched videos, and learned how to use it. And I helped someone design something, and the person saw it and liked it and recommended that I check out freelance platforms. So on reading about the freelance platforms, actually, what even pushed me there, I forgot to mention. At some point, I applied to go to Canada.
You too.
In my 300 level, right?
Okay.
So, you're studying chemistry education. Nobody sees it as something that is going to be useful in the future. So my dad was like trying to get me to go to Canada. I applied, gave them my results and everything, and I wanted to go for computer engineering. And then the system there, when you are applying, they kind of see your results and advise you. And they advised that my skills were better suited for software science, software based, so I should do for computer science. And reading about it, I realized that yeah, that's where my strengths are. I gained the admission. I didn't get the visa. They deferred I gained the admission, but the time for the visa was not enough. So the school deferred the admission so that I can have enough time to apply for visa. When the time came, I could not get the visa. So the school offered to like give me the admission the next year. They can't defer it again. I have to like reapply, but I won't have to pay. Sorry, I have to pay the fees, but I won't have to go through any of the screening processes. I'll just gain the admission. But I just saw it as a waste of time. So I'm like, let me finish the one I'm doing. I'm not applying again and see what I can do here in Nigeria. Plus, as I first saw, if I end up going to Canada, the immense pressure. I have like 4 siblings under me. All the money will go into me in Canada and not the rest of them. So let's just focus in Nigeria.
Okay, so talking about that, how were your parents when obviously they wanted you to do marine engineering and all of those kind of regular courses. So when you said, I'm doing content creation and I'm not doing what I studied, and I'm no longer going to Canada, what was the reaction of your parents, Easy?
Yeah, my dad was like, when that didn't work, and then after final year, we're looking for more opportunities, and I was like, no, let's just kill that Canada dream. I'm not intending on leaving Nigeria anytime soon. Right, I want to be where my family is right now, unless I can take everybody with me. So let's also here first, and when we get enough money, we'll go and visit them there. So
and again, what was your parents' reaction?
At first, like my dad kept insisting, right? That's how I think I have 2 uncles there. I mean, that's where you can get a better life and all that and all that and all that. But then I just felt like I had something to prove, right? To be able to prove that whether or not I'm in Canada, I should be able to do well in my life. So I insisted and insisted. And then when I started first with freelancing. And then, African parents, then I don't know about now, if you are on your laptop enough or a lot, they'll think you are playing games, you are being unserious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Until all the hard work and everything, I was able to show results, right?
Yeah.
I was back home. I was always in my room, always up at night. And my dad thought I was always like playing games. So one day he was recommending that I go for Nigerian Customs Defense Academy something. And I was like, no, I'm not going there. I don't want to do a uniform wearing job. So I had to explain like, okay, this is what I have been doing. By then I've already like gone into learning web development and some other things. I was doing some freelance job. Yeah. And then I showed him that, okay, this is what I've been doing. My first payout is going to be coming in like 3 weeks from now, and I'll be earning like $500 as at 2015. Yeah. So when I showed him and he saw like, oh, this is how much you have been able to earn while in the room upstairs, I like, yeah. And you're like, oh, even the lawyers, the doctors that I'm telling you to be like, they have not earned this much money.
Can you tell us what that amount was? Easy. Just whisper how much is.
Okay, so $500 then was like, that was like a month salary. And then I think that was like, I don't know, but I think the total amount I withdrew that at the end of the month was 150,000. In 2015, that was a lot of money, right?
It was.
I mean, if you calculate $500 now,
yeah,
it's
crazy.
Almost close to $1 million. So it's like, it was surprising. So my dad saw it. He was like, oh, that means I don't have to worry. Like, so what he did was, okay, that means you have challenge of lights and all. He bought like 50 liters of fuel and said, take, whenever you have to work, just turn on the generator.
Oh my goodness.
So
oh my goodness. That okay.
When he saw the results. So
absolutely.
I mean, as long as you can prove that there's something reasonable.
Great point. So the result definitely justifies sometimes the process, you know.
Yeah.
But for some other people, it's a longer turnaround
It's
time. You guys
longer, right?
stick with it. Yeah, so I mean, a couple of things he's mentioned. He was curious, right? He was curious. He got his hands dirty. I just want to try to ensure that we're getting all the points, guys, and he kept at it, right? I remember, for guys who, because you got the experience, right, even before, and you didn't go to the four walls of the university to learn
No,
how
no,
to
no. I
do the
made Google my
gadgets and
friend
all of
very
that.
early.
Yeah, yeah, guys. So make Google your friend, and actually, look, I know it can be very tough, right? And the internet is very distracting. There's doom scrolling. You just find yourself scrolling and scrolling, and before you know it, 1 hour is gone, 2 hours is gone. You've absolutely not done anything, but it is a gold mine, guys. And I think I can never overemphasize that. And even for adults, for young guns, every person falls into the same trap. So the same tool that is a distraction can actually be a gold mine for you. So he was curious. He stuck with the process. I tell this for free. The guy who got me into HP, one of my biggest break in work, was a guy who used to just get his hands dirty with PCs. You wanted, please don't tell this to Microsoft. You wanted to hack getting Microsoft Office. These are the guys that could do it. You wanted anything that went wrong with your laptop, they could do it. And eventually, he ended up as a technical consultant in HP, and he's in the US right now, still doing a lot of work there, only because he just got his hands dirty and got experience without necessarily going to school about it. Now, someone asked the question, Easy. Let me ask you this: why tech content creation as opposed to web development? Because you did freelancing, you did some of all these other
I've,
things.
do-
Why
I've
did
done
you
many things.
decide? Yeah,
I've done
okay, yeah, yeah, jack of all trades.
I've
So
done,
why
I've
did you
done,
decide?
I've done
Okay,
graphics design, I've done web
oh,
development, I've done digital
wow,
marketing, I've done content management. Like I
okay,
kept trying different things where I hit a roadblock instead of
okay,
like pulling out that okay, if I can't succeed here, let me try learning something else. So that's how I acquired like diverse skill sets.
okay,
But as for why content creation, let's see, I was doing freelancing, it was paying off. Like I had a job with an international company that was paying a remote job right after some time, and it was doing fine. But later on, I wanted to, at some point when I was trying to learn web, I bought a domain and built. How I learned WordPress was I told myself that I would learn it before evening. So in the morning, I bought a domain
mhm,
and started building a WordPress website using resources. And by evening, I was able to build a WordPress website. So I
wow,
used it to gain a website, like gain WordPress knowledge and all. So after some time, I decided I wanted to go into writing, right? I wanted to like travel to different places and write about these places in
okay,
Nigeria. But
okay,
then in the process of researching, I was going to buy a new phone. I was like always up to date with the latest phones. I was watching it KBHG all the time. So I wanted to upgrade. I don't upgrade my phone until like after 2 years. So I was going to upgrade for that year. In the process of doing research, I realized that, oh, I'm always watching these foreign YouTubers, right? What about Nigerian YouTubers?
mhm,
And why are they? Then I checked and I saw Fisaya, I saw Misteki, I saw
mhm,
Eric
mhm,
Okafor, and then there was Henry Leo. And I like, okay, I can do something like this, right? Let me talk tech from my perspective. I'm very enthusiastic about tech. This is what comes naturally. Let me make it some value. So I went head first into it. I didn't know video editing. I didn't know anything about a YouTube channel. And I just head first
mhm,
picked my phone, the phone that I had at the time, picked the phone, looked for, did I even buy a mic at first?
mhm,
I just started. And before you know it, here we are.
okay. So yeah, you dove head first, like you said, into it. Okay, now 220K followers on Instagram, 100K followers, and you tell us about that 100K because I hear that people are making a killing in
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, yeah. YouTube is
Tell me
tougher,
how.
tougher to do.
Okay, how?
So YouTube was what I actually started with. I think YouTube is what gave me the foundation for what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
So, because I mean, if you start with YouTube, you can sustain and be consistent on YouTube. There's no social media platform that you cannot thrive in because YouTube, I mean, on Instagram now, you just have to create a 1 minute video. For YouTube, it's
Mm,
not a 1 minute video. It's like 5 minutes, 8 minutes. It's a long video. You have to think about,
mhm,
plan, shoot, and edit.
mhm,
So I started out with YouTube at first, like let's do one video a week. I mean, it was easier back then because I was
wow.
able to okay, gather like 120,000 naira and buy 3 devices.
Mm,
Right now, those same devices of those caliber, right now, you will not be able to buy one for 150,000 naira. So,
mm,
I mean, then I bought three and let me start with these three. And then with the phone that I had at the time. So that was what I started with and then tried comparing and all of them, had to sell them, met friends that, okay, this is what I do now. You know what? I need to be able to buy the next ones. I don't have money to buy the next one. So since I know about phones and my friends already know that I know about phones, in fact, before they buy phones, they usually ask me. So I
Okay.
was always updating my WhatsApp status that, okay, this phone is coming out. Who is interested in buying this phone? Let me add 10K so that I will help you buy the phone and hold it for 1 week.
Oh, oh
You know,
wow. Okay.
that's
Okay.
what I was doing. And I had a lot of people that were supporting them that would, oh, I want to buy this phone. Okay, take, buy it. And then by the time I'm done, I'll tell them anything you want me to install on the phone, anything you want me to configure or customize,
Mm,
I will do it. So
mm, mm.
I had some friends that were doing it then, but then I mean your friends will not buy phones all the time. Yeah. And then I had
Absolutely.
friends that were supportive. I had this friend, I think the most expensive phone I reviewed that time was the Samsung S20. I had this friend that just said, come, let's go to Computer Village. I want to buy a phone. And as we bought the phone, we were going home and he was like, take, you would like to review it, right? I'm like, yes. And he gave me the phone, take, hold this for a week. I didn't have to spend anything.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And just like that, as I was doing it, like the other tech content creators, I think Valor Reviews and some others that were there then, you know, when you do work well enough and they saw that, oh, he's doing it with his phone and he's doing it well, and they reached out
Mm,
like what you do, like, and I now had people that I could ask
mm,
questions if I had
mm.
questions.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
before you knew it, the followers were coming in. As I
Yeah.
kept doing it, the followers were coming in. The harder it was harder to get to 1,000, but it was faster to get to 5,000 from 1,000.
Wow.
I didn't even start
Okay.
making money until I got to like 5,000.
Mm,
So
mm, mm.
after I crossed 10,000, everything like went up from there.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, cool. What's some of the biggest challenges as a tech content creator? Easy. Because I know we have people here who are hoping to be the next disciples to do the next Easy Boy, Miss Techie, etc. Guys who we've actually talked to as well. What for you would be the biggest challenges in that field?
So the biggest challenge is mostly finance, right? First off is
Mm,
finance because it's not everything I want to be able to review, I can review because nobody is going to give me all of them. I have to buy them. I mean, right now I can afford a lot of them, but back then it was you buy this, you sell it so that you can buy another one.
very, very humbly, you said that. Very humbly. I
Mhm.
can afford most of them. Easy. All right. Okay,
So
go
like
ahead.
back then you buy it, you're done with it, you have to sell it so that you can, and I mean you can't sell it for the price you bought it, you're selling it, you're losing money so you can afford the next one. And with the economy that was not exactly getting better, every year what you spend it has to be more, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to, and then that's I mean, once you can take care that challenge. Aside that, while you might not be able to afford or buying devices, right? It's not since it's tech I chose. You don't always have to make your videos around buying devices. If buying devices is going to be a challenge, I also thought about okay, I don't have to buy the devices that Precise is reviewing because everybody will watch Precise's video over my video, right? So
Mm,
let me look when a brand releases devices, they release like three. The big YouTubers will review the
big
major
ones.
one they are promoting. So
Yeah,
I buy
yeah.
the lesser ones.
That's
So
niche. That's niche.
yeah.
Choosing your
So
niche.
the people that
Absolutely.
are going online to look for that information will not see the lesser ones on Fisayo's page.
Mm.
When they search, they'll see it on my page. So I was
Easy, easy. See the problem of third world countries. You see the reason why we want to go to Canada. Oh my goodness, and we're getting to the groove of that conversation. Where did we
think
stop? Easy.
I was explaining the challenges right with tech content
Yeah,
creation.
challenges of tech content creation. Absolutely. Apologies,
So
guys. The network just died on all of us. Sorry about that. Okay, easy. Go ahead.
yeah, so it's more of targeting, like you don't always have to. I mean, since it's tech that I was doing and then finance was a challenge, I tried not to always look for reviewing the latest because there are already people that people will watch better.
Mm,
So I mean,
mm,
I could share opinions on what was coming. Everybody wants to know about the next Samsung phone, the next iPhone. They have not released it yet, right? So I research the information sometimes and like, okay, put a video together. People want to know how much they can spend on what devices. I research the information on these budget devices and put a video together. And then
mm.
just like that. The other challenges then would be, oh, it's hard to get views, right? You put a video up and then you see two views after you spend like days working on the video.
Oh my word.
You see three views.
Heartbreaking.
But then I didn't let the numbers be a challenge
Yeah.
because right, They are
Instead of
very
focusing on the
this
numbers.
in my I'm someone that easily picks up a hobby and within like a week I've dropped the hobby. And then this was something that I saw that it was one of those first things that I looked at. I didn't think about it too much and I started. I give this a lot of thought. I didn't think about it too much and I started. So like I must make it work. So I was not focused on the fact that I was not getting views. I was focused on the improving like the value of the content that I was trying to create. There's a quality it needs to get to. Until it gets to that quality, I can't complain about the views I'm getting. So I started like keep doing it, keep putting out videos. There are times I could not put out videos, but eventually I will still put out the videos. And even if I am the last to put out the video, I just feel like there's at least one person that wants to get my perspective on that device, even if the bigger guys have done it. And then I still end up putting it out. So the only other challenges would be noise, electricity, internet, those typical challenges. But we are in Nigeria. We're always guiding, right? You buy a generator. After you buy a generator, you get solar inverter if you can. You get power station. You try to move to a place that is less noisy. If you have money, you can soundproof your place. There's so much you have to like plan against so that it will work.
Fantastic. And I hear a lot of things there: resilience, understanding your environment, niche, and this will probably tie into the next question. That you've answered it, but I'd like you to again put it in your own words. Is the tech content creation space saturated? Is it saturated?
No.
Okay. Why do you think so?
Especially not in Nigeria. So let's take, for example, let's look at the US. That's where we have the most tech content creators, I think, in US. There is a lot of them. Right? Then if we now look at Nigeria, if you sit down and if you think it's saturated, sit down and count 10 content creators in tech that you know that are consistent. You will not be able to get up to 10. At most, 10. So if there are just 10, that means there is a lot of room for anyone else that is serious enough. So it is not saturated. You just have to do your thing and try and get as original as possible, right? So there are some people that don't want to put in the work. There are some people that think, let me just shadow this person, copy this person's content and replicate it. You might be able to start with it, but you will not be able to sustain it because your content is based off another person. But I mean, if you can like be your own person and be as original as possible, there's so much room. Like I'm saying this, especially not in Nigeria, because there's very few of us. I mean, you can invite all the tech content creators in Nigeria that you know that are doing well on social media and YouTube and all of that, and we're not going to fill up a room. So there is a lot of room for anybody that is serious enough to grow. It's not saturated.
Yes, and it's a lot of hard work, right? I mean, sometimes we just
I mean, as long as you decide that you want to keep doing it, and because your videos, people will see it. I mean, social media is easier now because back then we were only focusing on YouTube. It was after COVID we started taking social media serious, and I'm sure a lot of people might have observed that it was in 2021. A lot of other content creators kind of overtook the social media space. You are seeing us recommending tips and all of that. Before it was just YouTube, and then when we adopted social media, it's why a lot of people know us now. When it was just YouTube, nobody knew us.
But YouTube is silent, but there's a lot of money to be made in YouTube, right? I mean,
YouTube is the one that pays well. Compared to the other. Instagram doesn't pay. Facebook started paying now, though, but I mean, Facebook does not pay tech as much as they pay the others.
Okay, we'll talk about that monetization aspect, or whether you stumbled upon it or stuff like that. But let's talk about practical knowledge, right? Okay, so you do. I mean, we can see your background. I get the feeling that you have soundproofed your environment, right? Because you have the money now.
Actually,
right?
I have not.
Oh, you've not? Okay, cool. But the question would be, what are these gadgets, these things that you need, to begin this tech content creation adventure? Now, I say this because you have mentioned that money is a problem, and you know that it's more expensive now to get some of these items and gadgets. But if you were to, talk to a young, aspiring tech content creator, what would be the first few gadgets, the first few things he can begin and start with? Okay, easy.
Okay, first I'm going to say, do not think about the gadgets too much. First of all, sit down and ask yourself, what do I have right now that I can use? And because the most important thing is not the gadget. The most important thing is that content that you want to give to people. Right? If you are putting out something valuable enough, they will focus less on the quality of the video, more on the value that you are sharing. But right now, if I film a video with my phone, before people would talk about whether it is poor quality, they would have talked about the value of what I'm sharing, right? It's later on in my like, oh, your video is not as clear as it used to be. Maybe after I've done it like 2, 3, 4 times. So people might pay attention less to how quality your content is and pay attention more to the value of the content. So you first have to decide, well, what content am I going to put out? If you've sorted out content, oh, I want to go into tech, I want to talk about smartphones. What gadget do you now need to buy? As far as you have your phone, what I'm going to say always to recommend buying with starting with your phone first is because if you start even if you have money and you start investing it in gear, in equipment, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 6 months down the line, are you still going to be interested in content creation? What will happen to those things you have bought? You'll be looking for how to sell it. And I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
In 2021, 2022, when like tech content creators became popular on social media like TikTok and Instagram, right? It just happened within 1 month. Well, we all just blew up because we were posting videos every day. Then there were other people that saw it and started doing it too, right? Oh, they'll pick some of the content, like these things we can do it too, and started doing it, and they blew up too. But by December, they're all burnt out. Not all of them are doing it right now. It's still the same people that are doing it before that are still doing it right now. Only maybe 1 or 2 new faces you would see. And it's because some of these people might have invested in buying those gears then to make it look good. But then after 3, 4, 5 months down the line, when they ran out of the content that they planned to use, nothing new was coming. They were like, oh, this thing is not worth it anymore. Or the money we're expecting were not coming. It's not worth it anymore. And they have invested a lot into it. And then they are looking for how they are going to sell those equipment. So the gear you need, and most importantly, people need to be able to see you, and it depends on the kind of content. They don't always need to see you. With the advent of AI now, you can even use AI tools to like create voice and visuals, right? People might need to see you, people might need to hear you, and then people need to know what you are trying to share to them. So take that thing that you're trying to share to them. That phone, no matter how small you think that phone is, it has a camera, right? It has mic. Use it and start putting the content out there first. Now, see how people react to the content that you are putting out. When you've seen how people react to the content, it's tips I want to share. People are finding these tips valuable, so I know I need to share more tips. And then 2 people followed you, 5 people followed you, 10 people followed you. With your poor quality equipment, people are still following you for that, right? Then you now say, okay, now that people are following me, I'm getting recognition. Let me buy a mic. That's the cheapest thing you can probably buy. Get a small mic that can make your audio as clear as possible. So even when you make videos where your face is not showing, your voice is clear enough. That's the most important thing you want to speak so that they can hear you. And with 5,000 naira, you can get a small mic that you can use aside your phone. That's the first thing. And then maybe invest in a better phone so that the camera is clearer. Because before you start investing in a proper camera is going to be expensive. So start with your phone. By the time you invest, you can do it with a phone. I think I used a phone till I got to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube before I invested in a camera. Yeah. So imagine I got monetized, I got everything before. So, but people did not know because I knew how to use the phone well. There were people that were asking me what camera I was using. So I just knew how to use the phone well. So when you want to buy, before you even buy a camera, the next thing you want to invest in is maybe get light. You want to use natural light first. That's the best lighting source. But then get your professional light so that you can shoot at night when it's quiet because during the day some heat might burn around. So like get small lights that you can shoot so you can shoot anytime, and then invest in buying a laptop that you can use to edit your videos. Camera is the last thing. Yeah. Camera is the last thing. So because if you buy a camera first, your phone will not be able to edit your camera's videos. By the time you are buying a camera, in fact, you think your laptop is very good. By the time you film with a camera and put it on that laptop, you realize that you need a new laptop. So so camera last, but content first. Content is the most important thing.
Content first.
I mean, there are people that I can make as example. I don't know. Some of you watch like Ajibola Godwin, for example. You know Ajibola Godwin. Have you watched his content? When he started his content, he used to like do it in the store. There's bread in the background. He just thought people come to abuse the bread that's in the background, calling for. But there's no how you scroll past 5 videos on TikTok now that you will not see his video. Right? He's one of the most popular content creators on TikTok, and he still does not have a camera. But people keep watching. If they take down his account today and he creates another one tomorrow, he will get over 10,000 followers within 24 hours because he has been able to provide value in his content. So no matter how poor his quality might look, people will come to watch him for the content that he's sharing.
Cool, and I think those are lovely nuggets, And I remember you said it before our internet went crazy that you did it and then you got 5 followers. So it's really not about the followers. It's
Yeah.
about the content and the value that you add, guys. And we cannot say this more, we cannot overemphasize this, right? Because people look for the fame first before doing the work. All right, and do the work, create the value, and it comes afterwards. Content creation, let me ask, because you did mention using AI for your visuals, if you didn't want to show your face. Do you think, I mean, as in, what's the way content creation is evolving from your own view, especially with the advent of AI, AR, VR, and all of those things? Are these game changers for content creation?
It's game changing, but I mean, I'm one of those like late adopters of AI. I'm one of those that feel like
Okay.
if I start using AI, it's going to make my work less original. Like even right now, like I hardly employ, unless I'm talking about an AI tool that I have to make a video for my audience. I try not to use AI. But I mean, I've seen the AI tools and I've seen there are pages you go to on TikTok and you see video about 5 things you need to do this, to do that. You know the voice is not a human that said it, it's AI, but you watch it anyway because what they are trying to share. So whoever is probably behind that channel does not have the time to do that themselves. They just employ an AI to, okay, these are what I want to do. Please give me a voice for it. And they will give you a voice for it. And there are many free and good AI tools that you can use to do that right now. So AI has also made research easier, right? I mean, if you want to buy a phone right now, normally you would watch my video, maybe watch two other person's video and make up your mind. There's AI that you can share those videos to and tell the AI to summarize from the 3 videos that what is the summary of what all these people are saying. And you won't have to watch the video and you will get the summary. So there are AI tools that will help your research. There are AI tools that will make maybe planning for your videos easier. And then there are AI tools that will even give you visuals. Visuals. I think there was even an AI tool that mistakenly did a video recently, and he was talking about maybe lava and then lava. I mean, how are you going to do that yourself? Editing video, that's like might take a lot of practice. But now all you have to do is employ an AI tool to do it for you. So you just have to do with the idea that you are trying to bring to life. Then maybe you look for the tools that will make it easier for you. So there are softwares, there are AIs that can like just make it easy for you. Before you might need to learn graphics design so that you can design your thumbnails. You need to learn video editing.
Mm,
There's AI
mm,
now that you can just give the video
mm,
to cut out the unnecessary parts for you and
mm.
all that. So, I mean, AI has made it easier. The only problem that you might have to worry about is, oh, there's so many AI tools. How do I pick the one that I can work with? But I mean, if you are determined enough and you have the right idea, you will find the one that will help your workflow and use it well.
Okay, okay. So you're not worried that AI would replace original content. You just think it will make it better if you find a good way to use it, right? Easy.
If you find a good way to use it, it will make it better. It can replace original content, but not completely. It will replace some content, right? But I mean, in a world where AI becomes too much use, people will now be looking for originality. So it's
Mm,
still one of the reasons why I strive to like not use AI as much when I'm trying. The only things I use AI for right now is, oh, I structure a sentence in a particular way. It doesn't come out well. Okay, take
chat
AI.
GPT.
Rewrite this sentence for me, right? That's but I won't tell
Eh,
AI, oh, I want to review this phone, write a script for me. Nope, it's not going to sound
ah,
like me and all that. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. That's
So
me.
if you
So,
know how to use it, you'll be able to like use it well. And then, I mean, there are people that are learning to. You can be the go-to person when someone wants to use an AI tool and they need recommendations, right?
mm,
And
mm.
then you also, if you try to be as original as possible, there's a way you watch people's content and you know, this one did not do it himself. Let me go and look for something original. So it's not going to
Cool.
take over like
Mm.
that.
Okay, okay. That's always a present concern for most people as AI becomes a bit more advanced. Let's talk about money a bit, all right? These hard times, money is important. How
Yeah.
how how do people monetize tech content creation? That's a very broad question, so I think you
It's a
just
broad question,
pick it.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Help
those
me
that
do
are
what you
here,
do
I will
best.
just give you more expo
Okay,
based on my experience, right?
okay.
YouTube is the one that pays, right? YouTube is the one that pays you for the views, right? So I mean, if you can get your videos and get views on your videos, YouTube pays you as for watching them if you miss the monetization requirements. That is why sometimes you see some of us buying devices that are not selling in Nigeria.
Mm,
It's not because we feel like spending money. No, we are targeting people that are not in Nigeria because if people that are in US, Europe watch your videos, you get paid more than when people that are in
oh,
Nigeria watch your that when people that are in Nigeria will get this foreign audience to like expand our audience to make more money. So then YouTube is hard to grow. Then Facebook has recently started paying, right? So if you their monetization requirements not even as much as YouTube. And then they pay better when it comes to short form content compared to YouTube. They pay better when it comes to short form content. TikTok, to get paid on TikTok, you have to go live and start encouraging people to tap on their screen and do all those things. So you won't get paid on TikTok unless you are being gifted. Instagram, the same thing at the moment. You won't get paid on unless you are being gifted. But doesn't mean these platforms are not useful. I have the most followers on TikTok, like over 670,000 followers on TikTok right now. But I mean, these are things that will add value to my numbers in general. And I can decide to tell my TikTok people, please come to my YouTube channel, and in a day I could get like way more subscribers. But the reason I don't do that is because I believe my TikTok audience want to watch 1 minute videos. They don't want to watch 5 minutes videos. So to get monetizing your content right now is, apart from getting monetized on platforms like Facebook and YouTube, when you grow your audience large enough, let's say minimum of 10,000 followers on platforms like Instagram and say TikTok and maybe Twitter, there are brands that will reach out as long as you're putting out content. Brands will reach out to you if they see that you get enough engagement, right? A brand can say, "Oh, I want to launch this product." Even if they're not paying, they just say, "Come and be present." You share it with your followers. There's a way you share enough, and small brands will come to meet you for promotion. You promote for some brands will pay you to make videos for them, and you make videos and you get paid. Nobody knows how much you are getting paid. It's between you and the brand. And if you are good enough with your content, you will do paid content, and nobody knows that it's paid content because like it's original to what you do, and maybe you're probably trying to help them promote something. And there are some that you actually help them promote and you inform the audience that, oh, I'm trying to promote this thing. And because of the originality of your content, whether or not you're promoting it, your audience values your opinion. So monetizing your content creation is being able to grow an audience. That's the most important thing. The brands are coming for the audience that you are growing, no matter the platform.
Well, guys, this is you heard this first on this platform, and Easy is dishing out a masterclass on making money with tech content creation. What about X? I saw something recently that people are making more money on X now than they're on YouTube. Easy, did you hear that?
Yeah, I saw that. But I mean, X is not a video platform, right? On X, to make money, you have to be creating chaotic content.
Chaotic, interesting.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's why they say Twitter is where you go and you get dragged a lot. Like,
Absolutely.
so if you can be in the center of that, you get a lot of impressions with your tweets. I mean, there are people that like make like value content, but what you see more are people that are trying to like shade people, drama kind of content and all of that. That's the easiest way. Yeah, so Twitter will pay you for impressions as people are engaging those tweets and all that. But I mean, even now they are still paying the foreigners much better than they are paying the guys in Africa. So I mean, it's not that easy to make money on Twitter. I mean, I've been on Twitter for how long? I have close to 10,000 subscribers now on followers on Twitter, but I have not made a dime from Twitter.
Okay. So at least for premium content creation, where you're engaging all of your creative skills, it's YouTube, it's TikTok is difficult. YouTube. It's Facebook. Interesting to know that it's Facebook now as well.
Facebook recently started paying, and it's been nice.
Okay, cool. Let's go through some questions that some guys are asking on the live. Okay, so you've answered how to monetize a YouTube channel. You've talked about mics and how to prioritize content. Editing your content. What's the best tool for editing content? They asked this.
Okay. Let me answer
that. What do you use to edit your workbook content and graphic design?
Personally, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. That's the software I first started with, and that's what I've stuck with, Premiere Pro. But I mean, Premiere Pro is not a free software. You have to pay for it. I was using crack at some point. Then when I could afford it, I started paying for the software. But then you can also go for DaVinci Resolve if your laptop can handle it. That one has a free version that you can use without needing to crack it. Right? So DaVinci Resolve, but you need a good laptop to use DaVinci Resolve. Then there is Filmora, there's CapCut. Although CapCut has been making some of their features paid now, but I mean there's CapCut. But then I also need to let you know that it is when you are overthinking it, you might think you need to overdo in editing. Anybody I tell about video editing is cutting and joining. Just like a tailor will cut and join clothes, nowhere to cut and join it together and sew a cloth. It's cutting and joining. So you might not really need an advanced video software. Every phone comes with a default video editing software. Every phone. Your video gallery has a default video editing, right? You just need to cut and join your clips together. What you might need a video editor for is, okay, I want to separate the audio, I want to put text here, I want to put text there, I want to export it, I want to put transitions. That's what you need video editing softwares for. So if what you have is a phone, there's CapCut, there's VN. VN is a video editing software. Yeah, there's also Adobe Premiere Rush. These are for mobiles, right? You just need to like spend enough time playing with the software in and out to make it work for you. Every video editing tool has the same foundation. They give you a timeline, you put your video, you cut and join and put it together. And I mean, if you watch my videos, I don't do advanced editing. I can't do editing like Mistake. Mistake is the champion, right? I can't do those kind of editing. There are people that do so many animations, transitions. But when you watch my videos, you see my face, you see the product I'm talking about, you see my face, you see the product I'm talking about. But you don't notice that I'm not doing any advanced editing because I'm passing an information that is invaluable to you. It's only when you overthink, oh, I have to be able to jump from here to here, I have to do this effect and all. That's when editing might become complex. So whatever tool you can find that is free to cut and join your videos together and put your videos together, to pick one to use.
Fantastic. And there's a lot of stuff that you're saying, and I know we're talking very fast because we want to maximize time. But guys, we're going to put this content back on Instagram and also on our Guess What YouTube channel as well. And maybe Easy will do that as well for his, right? We will want to go to the pitch very quickly because it's top of the hour. But we always have this thing. This one is a short, gunshot, so to speak. We call them myth versus fact. You make it sound like content creation is very easy. So I ask you this question: is content creation easy? Just press record, be yourself, fly, and then you're good to go. Is that
It's not
easy?
it's not easy. It's enjoyable
Okay.
if you have interest, but it's not easy.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, then for top quality content, you will definitely need expensive equipment. Is that a myth or a fact?
It's
I like the
in
way you're
between.
thinking. You're an ethical. Look at
It's in
that. Go
between,
ahead.
I mean,
Okay, go ahead.
if you have to say that you really need, you might not end up starting what you need to do. You just know that you need to start from somewhere. You will need it eventually, but at the start, no, you don't need it.
Okay, cool. Just start. Content is always king. That's why we call you content king, by the way. More content is always better. True or false?
Yes, more content is always better. People need to. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I can post a video today. If you don't see me in 1 month's time, when I post a video in 1 month, you probably not look at it.
Yes, yes. They
But
talk about
it's also
algorithm a lot
important.
and
It's
consistency.
also important that like quality too over quantity. Don't just post irrelevant
Mm,
content because you want to post every
mm,
day. Don't post the same thing every day.
mm. Fantastic. Okay, cool. I mean, I think that's great that we've done. We're going to be calling a couple of people easy, and this is where we need you to put on your lecturer hat since you wanted to be a lecturer at some point. This is an opportunity for you to be a lecturer now. We're going to have 5, maybe 6 people give their 1-minute pitch. How do
Okay.
we get these people, guys? It's important that we say this. The form always opens about a week before the live, so you're meant to go fill the pitch form. And please pay attention to details. A lot of people got abysmal scores because they just filled whatever they like to fill, but some people really put in the work, and we like to appreciate and reward people who put in the work. Some people just use ChatGPT, and people don't realize that we know ChatGPT nowadays, and we know ChatGPT's language by the way.
Yeah.
So you need to have some originality, some content, some stuff that is unique to you. All right, so we're going to call 5, 6 people who have actually done this, and it's been an amazing conversation. We will keep doing this um, as often as possible. Now we're going to give, obviously, if someone is going to win a laptop, Easy is going to announce that on his profile in a day or two, in Easy style, of course, crisp, clear, and all. But we're also, every of the 6 people that we're going to call will also get 1 month's worth of data. So we ensure that every person who has put in the effort is getting rewarded. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my team now, and then they will tell me the guys who have been identified. It's been a pleasure. We don't want to take too much of your time because we also know that credit and data is a it's a big issue. All right. So, Izzy, what will be your last word with the guys? What are the things they should do as takeaways as we close this live? And it's
I
been
mean,
very, very
um,
rewarding.
it's whatever it is you want to do, right? Do not place your progress in the hands of someone else, because there have been so many people that want to do something, but they feel like, oh, I need a mentor first, or I need someone to guide me first. No, the time of ignorance has passed. Everything you need is probably on the internet. You just have to find a way to make the best use of the little resources that you have, because if you feel like those resources are not good enough, there is somebody somewhere with less resources doing that thing you think that you cannot start because of your little resources. So most of the time, even if you need help from someone, the person will be more willing to help when they've seen the work that you have been able to do with the little resources at your disposal,
Mhm.
instead of telling them that they have to help you with this and that first before you can start something. So the internet is always there, right, with a whole lot of information. All I am saying today, if you followed me from the start, what I studied and what I'm doing do not in any way relate, right? But I'm able to sustain myself and thrive. And if I want to relocate out of the country tomorrow or in a year's time, I can probably still plan to do that, and
Mhm.
I'll be able to finance it. But I mean, a few years ago, I would not have been able to do that. So just decide what you want to do and like chase it with every time and little time that you have. Just chase it. The support will come.
Thank you so much. Guys, I mean, if there's anything I'll take away easy, and it's a pleasure having you here. And thank you so much for spending your time, giving us all the tips, from your years and years of experience, from trials, from failures. And these are pure gold mines. I hear resilience, I hear niche, I hear staying true at it, originality, so many things. And we'll summarize this in a couple of posts on our social media handle, and hopefully this makes a difference. We will also reward all the people that we said we will, guys, and I would like to ask you to keep following the handle, and stay on this page. The winner will be announced shortly, and if you have any questions, always just keep asking us, and we'll provide that. I want to say thank you to the team. There's a lot of people working in the background to make this succeed, and I want to say thank you to all of the guys there. Thank you all for investing your time and your data. Hopefully, we can reward one or two or three or four of you, and hopefully that makes a difference. But have a lovely rest of the evening. Here's hoping that Real Madrid beats the hell out of Barcelona later this evening.
We'll
And
see.
Chelsea
We'll see.
wins. And I'll let you know, guys. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much. And see you again next month,
All right.
and as we continue. Okay? Bye.